Hello, welcome to the video. So this will be part one of a series. If you go to the description below, there should be a link to the PDF that opens up off my Google Drive, and you have the option to download well. When you move your cursor up in the upper right corner, there will be a down arrow that will appear. The reason you're not seeing it now because this is a downloaded version. So, yeah, and before I begin, I want to point out, oops, my bad. So if you go to Soteriology 400 YouTube channel, there should be a playlist called Daniel's 70 Week Series. Not Daniel's 70 Week, but Daniel's 70 Week Series. And so where you go through the videos one by one, they're labeled by parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I have 6 in there so far, but I doubt I'll add more. But I have a lot more videos apart from that playlist. There's a Daniel 70 Weeks playlist as well, all right? So, which is right here, all right? The first one, there's like 32 videos in there, but just for getting started with Daniel 70 Weeks, I have this series here, all right? And that's what we have here, part one, that you're watching right now. Sorry. So, for part one, I decided to just show you what happened. We just let the Bible do the talking with as far as the time indicators. All right. So read for that because so much what we hearsay, whether on the radio or your pastor or friends or relatives, you name it. So much what we hear is as hearsay. It's really actually confusion. How do you know if what you're being told is confusion or not? And so there are basically 5 things. When it comes to eschatology, what I have learned is that the chronology of the Bible, the order things happen, the time indicators, audience relevance, grammar, and setting. If my view violates any of those, then chances are my theology is incorrect. Now, however, chronology can be a little tricky because anytime the text says know and understand, then it's grouped together by logic and understanding. All right, then chronology kind of it requires a great deal of understanding and study at that point. I think they're put together by understanding. All right. So anyway, so let's zoom in here. The text here, 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Alrighty. So if the Bible gives you time indicators and you assemble it, my theology should fit the time indicators of the Bible. If it does not, that means I'm the one that's confused, not God as the author of confusion. All right. All right. So I have here a bunch of layers: Daniel chapter 9:24, Daniel chapter 9 verse 25, Daniel chapter 9 verse 26, and chapter 9 verse 27. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on Daniel 9:24. I'm just the time indicator. Okay. So I'm going to turn that on, and let's zoom out so we can see a box has been created. And this is based on 9:24, which says 70 weeks are determined. And so, I put aside the theological aspects, what goes on, why it's determined. Just paying attention to the time indicators. Just let the Bible do the talking, right? So this is what we get. 70 weeks are determined. Voila. All right. So that is 9:24. 70 weeks. All right. From here to here. Now we're going to turn on layer 9:25. There shall be 7 weeks. So that's that line there. 7 weeks. Alrighty. Go to the latter half of it, and 62 weeks. So that's what this line represents. Right? So 9:24 and 9:25 brings us to here. Right? And then 9:26. And after the 62 weeks. That's all it says. It's just simply telling you what happens after the 62 weeks. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? And 9:27 for 1 week in the midst of the week. All right? That's all we have for time indicators, and this is what we end up with. All right? So my theology has to fit this framework that's given to us by the Scriptures. I can't take my theology and force the time indicators to make it what I want to fit my own understanding, whether it's right or wrong. Okay, it's the other way around. I have to let the scriptures mold my theology, not the other way around. All right. And so time indicators are so helpful. The problem here is sometimes we're like, well, how did that happen in that time frame? I can't see how it happened. So we have two choices: either bend the living tire out of it and just make it whatever we want it to mean, or use scripture, interpret scripture, do more studying, and still abide by the time indicator. And then, oh, okay, the light bulb comes on. I see now. I can see how it happened that time frame, or how. Okay, it makes sense. The problem here is verse 26 here. It's a theologically packed verse, and so it requires a lot of studying to get all the parts and pieces to work. And so most people are not willing to take the time to do that, so they end up turning Prince into an X value. They end up doing all kinds of crazy stuff. When you do that, then you're dodging around the basic rules of grammar. Okay, don't do that. And it took me years of studying. Okay, I see the light bulb now. Okay, yeah. So the subject of verse 25, it's the same subject of verse 26. It's the same subject of verse 27. All right, it never turns into an X value. All right. So that's, I'm just speaking from lots of studying experience. All right, it does not turn into an X value. So anyway, so this is what you end up with, and hope you find the material helpful. Golly, you know, unfortunately, the 70th week has been flipped upside down by the large majority of Christians today. It has been totally, it turned from something that's totally beautiful and awesome to something ugly and dark. It has been totally flipped upside down, and it just saddens me that people can't see it for what really what 70th week really is. Anyway, so that's that, and hope you enjoy the material. Hope you continue doing your studies, and hope to see you in part 2. Thank you.